Garten.
Hello?
Look deep into my mustache.
Into your what?
My mustache.
Okay.
You are starting to feel sleepy.
I'm pretty energized, actually.
Very, very sleepy.
Candy, is that you?
No, I'm Cat Mustache Son.
Uh-huh. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking to find out what it takes to make a house a home, the answer is completely inside of this video. That is, if you mean a Monster Hunter house and a Monster Hunter home. Today we received an absolutely massive news drop with tons of crazy and important information. And when that happens, it is easy to forget about some of the more down-to-earth information, the stuff that will affect us for our entire stay with the game, but just doesn't have the flash of new monsters. So what you're saying is you're avoiding spoilers and you get to talk about some inanimate objects? Boy, if you keep talking back to me, I'll turn you into an inanimate object. Inanimate object. Whether your personal fix comes from a nice relaxing place to call your own or a nice relaxing place to share with your friends, here is where you will find everything that you need to know about the new Gathering Hub and your new player room. When it comes to the new Gathering Hub, the only thing that really matters is the monkeys, because we get fucking monkeys in the hub. Sorry, I really, really like monkeys. The monkeys gather here because in the hub there is actually an absolutely massive and beautiful hot spring, all set up and prepared for hunter use. This hot spring is actually so sizable on its own, to the point where it looks comparable to an entire side of the Astera Gathering Hub, an entire half of the Gathering Hub just in this hot spring. And guess what? When you're in the hot springs, there is a button to make you naked.
Commander!
Did I hear something?
Well, actually, it just lets you put on a swimsuit on command, but you never know what's under the water, except you do because it's quite clean and clear water, and as a hunter, you have excellent vision. If while inside of this hot spring, you start to feel a little bit bored, you can even take advantage of hot spring-specific gestures, like falling into the water, jumping backwards, and even splash water at your ungrateful hunting partner.
Commander!
Must have been the wind.
Once you are done being happy and warm and wet, you can move on to being happy and warm and dry and fed by heading to your local sauna with your mustachioed cat and eating a meal. This obviously isn't new, it's just a canteen in the Gathering Hub, but hey, it fits thematically, it's in the sauna, and it looks gorgeous, so I don't want to hear any complaints. But the hot spring will probably just be locked away in some distant corner no one will ever even go to. Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right, except Capcom thought of that, and there are even little foot baths in places even as relevant as a foot away from the new Hublass. Rip old Hublass. And now for the part that will actually have the greatest effect on your long-term existence in Iceborne, the accessibility of the hub. Some friends have graciously added segments of their businesses in the Gathering Hub, allowing us to do important things without leaving our other friends. This list officially includes the Smithy, the Resource Center, and the Botanical Research Tree, and unofficially includes everything else you could ever want, as well as a pony. It doesn't actually have a pony, I just wish it had a pony. For all you squad leaders and squad joiners out there is some great new squad-based functionality that makes the system feel much more like it belongs in the modern age, including mainly the ability to send squad invites to people who are offline or not in your session, and the fantastic change of adding sub-leaders to the squads, meaning as a leader, you can anoint some people in your squad to do everything for you while you sit there with your fancy job title claiming to be a leader. But when the day is done, regardless of how much time you spend playing with your friends in the hot springs, by which I mean the monkeys, you will always wind up back to sleep in your room. Your new room, which is an insult to call a room because the last place was called a room, and if that place was a room, then this place is a castle, or like a room with like 8 O's because it's really, really big and obvious. I'm just gonna stop digging that hole. Unless you want a hole in there, well, at some point you might actually be able to get a hole. But for now, you will have to settle with customizable wallpaper and furniture. Ooh. But not just these options, because there's actually a system in place to get furniture options and wallpapers from deliveries and quests themselves. Ooh. But you can't move where stuff is. Aww. And honestly, if there is an event quest to kill giant versions of monsters to make furniture out of their skin, then I'll be very disappointed. Not that anyone would know, because I'll just be sitting here alone and disappointed in my room because no one else can join me, except soon they can!
Hello there.
Except you. While not quite happening at the release of Iceborne itself, it is confirmed that at some point post-launch, the feature will be added to invite other players into your room, which makes sense. It is extremely rare for a game to allow a personal quarters with this level of customization in a completely single-player environment. I mean, imagine if to show off your room that you'd put this much time in, you had to take screenshots and send them to your friends. Well, soon soon they'll be able to come in and chill on the couch with you no matter what you decide that couch looks like. We also actually got a confirmation on what Deluxe Kit means in the Deluxe Edition of Iceborne. It turns out it is entirely related to your room and furniture and changes the majorly wood motif of the room to much more of a stone one, really allowing you to turn your tiny little house into a massive sprawling castle. Well, the size doesn't change, but it does feel bigger. If you want to be sure that it isn't though, an easy way to check is a nice stroll around the side, as you seem to be able to go properly outside the building now and get a proper look at it, just like I've given you guys a proper look at all of these changes. Alright everyone, I've been Cotton Dinosaur, and this has been everything that you need to know about the new Gathering Hub and Player Room. Like if you liked the video, subscribe and hit the little notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet. This is the brand new outro to tell you all the things that you do that we love, so let's start with something simple and say, oh, we love your eyes. When they're watching us play video games, when we make a bunch of jokes that are kinda lame, or when they gaze upon our failures as we try to kill the monsters, or important news about the Kingdom Animalia. Rage, Cotton, and Hollow are all here, talking about the things you want to hear. So if you want to be the first to hear, like and subscribe and the bell and we'll cheer. Some of you are patrons, even though we are all the noobs and you're the pros. There's nothing we can do to thank you. No, really, there's nothing we could possibly do. Goodbye.